A follow-up tonight on safety concerns raised by unionized train conductors and engineers at a West Springfield Railroad crossing. Western Mass News reporter Reagan Stoddard joining us live in West Springfield after diagnostic testing was done at that site. Now, Reagan, what were the results from today's evaluation?
Chris, engineers and conductors are beginning to see some progress about improving their working conditions at the Memorial Ave Railroad crossing in West Springfield after today's session concluded. Railroad workers, members of Smart Local 352, have expressed their concerns about their working conditions when carrying 33,000 gallons of propane across Memorial Ave with minimal lights and guardrails to stop traffic, forcing employees to actually get off the train and put down flares so the train can pass through. On Wednesday, members from the railroad carrier CSX, the Massachusetts Department of Utilities, Mass DOT, the Federal Railroad Administration, Smart Local Union, State Senator John Velas's office, and West Springfield met to evaluate the situation and see who's responsible for needed improvements. Zachary Gillespie, one of the train conductors on this line, explains what workers are trying to avoid under the current conditions.
The potential of a vehicle collision or any of that, getting myself ran over, any of my members.
Although this meeting is a step in the right direction, who is responsible for making the improvements is still unknown.
Nobody really understands or is really aware of who is responsible for maintaining the crossing or doing the improvements.
Christopher Terrell, a legislative representative for Smart Local 352, tells us what they are looking ahead for in the future.
We're going to look at what type of apparatus is going to be best to protect the community, whether it's gates, whether it's lights, whether it's actual stop lights that people have to stop for, and then as a redundancy have the railroad lights behind them.
In the meantime, he urges the public to be aware of the railroad crossing.
People driving this road, I please ask that you know that this is an active crossing and trains can cross at any time, and you please be cognizant of that, and you look for the lights, you listen to the sounds, the horns, the bells, and you please stop and look both ways.
Western Mass News received this statement from the DPU following the evaluation, which in part quote says, "Today, which is National Grade Crossing Safety Day, the Department of Public Utilities, through its Rail Transit Safety Division, has begun the process of conducting a diagnostic review to assess the safety risks posed at the Memorial Ave crossing and plans to work collaboratively with all stakeholders towards a safe solution." We've reached out to the railroad carrier company CSX, and they tell us that they are very supportive about enhancing the working conditions for their workers, but also for the community, and that they encourage individuals to be aware and stop at the railroad crossings. Reporting live in West Springfield, Reagan Stoddard, Western Mass News.